Hi everyone, I wanted to do an update. I'm so sorry for not posting anything up for a long while. I've been having lots and lots of messages asking me, well, how's things going? Are you okay? When you're posting another update? Um, yeah, I've had loads going on, which I will explain in my video. So I think the last update I posted was when I was 2 months post stem cell treatment. So I'll tell you what happened at 4 months. Um, at 4 months after my treatment, I started having severe stiffness. I mean, I was having a little bit before, but it got to the point where it was so bad that I couldn't move. Every step was like little pigeon steps. Getting up the stairs was a nightmare. My mum's got loads of steps in her house because I was staying at my mum's because I couldn't cope at home. So her stairs, although she's only got 12, 13 steps, it feels like 100. I couldn't climb even a single one of them without having the help from either my mum or my sister to lift up my legs up each step and then haul myself up. That was the only way that I could get up, really, and many a times I kind of got stuck as well. What else? I got to the point where I couldn't even go to the kitchen, so I was having my food in the sitting room. My mum was helping me have a shower and get ready in the morning, and then in the evening she'd help me get changed for bed and put me into bed. So yeah, it was really hard. I started to get worried, so I had my bloods checked and my blood counts were fine. What they did say was I had thyroid issues and that could be causing the tiredness. I was sleeping a lot. I literally wake up in the morning, have my breakfast, and then climb back into bed. And I felt like I was asleep all day. And I thought it was just me being lazy, but no. So I know people do say after stem cells you do get tired, but this was ridiculous. After a week, I went back and I told my doctor that I was still feeling the same. And he was like, I think I may have missed something and I just want to be sure. So I'm sending you to A&E to Charing Cross. The doctor that saw me, he was really nice. He goes, look, I can see you're struggling to go home. It will be pointless, especially if you're struggling to get up the stairs and stuff. He goes, let me send you up to neurology and they can have a look at you in the morning. So I waited till the morning to see the neurologist. So I went in on Valentine's Eve on the 13th, and on the 14th I ended up being told that I had to spend at least a week in hospital. So yeah, it wasn't nice spending Valentine's Day all by myself on my Todd with strangers, but they were actually really nice people anyway. I got seen by the neurologist. They said, yes, you have severe stiffness. They didn't know how I managed to cope at home. I said, yeah, it was difficult. So yeah, anyway, they were treating me for stiffness by giving me some tablets and things. They treated me for physio, and I had an MRI. The MRI was clear because they weren't sure if I was having a relapse, maybe, by the way that I was feeling. I was really happy to hear that I had nothing new since the last one, which means that hopefully the treatment has worked. What else? Oh, the great thing about being in hospital was they managed to sort out my care for home. I was trying to organise it before I went into hospital, and I was just going round and round in circles trying to sort out what I wanted to do, because I was staying at my mum's and I was staying at home, and it wasn't possible to sort out. So yeah, they managed to sort all that out. They gave me adaptations. I got this fantastic chair. It's alright, it's not a bad colour, but it elevates your feet and it helps you get on and off and that kind of stuff. I got some extra aids that I needed So yeah, that's the bonus about being in hospital. I was in hospital for just over 5 weeks. It was crazy. I was actually getting used to it. I was getting used to the people, the nurses. I was starting to make friends and everything there. And then they told me I had to go home, and I was really apprehensive. I didn't want to go. I was scared. I was crying. Because you kind of looked after in the hospital, and then obviously when you come home, all that stuff changes. It's like, I'm going home. I don't want to be reliant on my husband. How am I going to cope by myself? I think for the first 2 days when I got home, I did cry. On Monday, my carer was here, and she's fantastic. She's a really, really nice lady. She comes in the morning, she helps me with my shower and stuff. Then she makes me breakfast, and then she comes again at lunchtime as well. So we cook together, or we'll do bits in the house and things. And she's amazing. She takes so much weight off my shoulders by just helping out and making me feel comfortable. So it's 6 months now, and I've still got stiffness, and I'm still increasing my tablets. I've got to do it slowly, because if I do it too quickly, it can make you quite dizzy and weak. I think that's why they kept me in hospital for so long, because they kept increasing it and they just wanted to see the effects. But we decided that it's probably best just to manage my medication at home. So I still can't walk up the stairs, although some days I can manage to lift my legs up now, and I think that's because I'm doing physio. So my physio is coming to the house about every 2 weeks, and she just keeps piling on the exercises, which I'm managing to do on most days, 3 times a day. It's not always possible all the time. Getting in and out of the house is still a nightmare, because I have a slope and some stairs, and it's quite a bit to walk, so I just take the wheelchair now. I had a funny accident a few weeks back where I got out of the car and my legs kind of just gave way because I couldn't hold myself up. So I slipped down to the floor in between the car and the curb, and my legs slid under the door, so I was well and truly stuck. My husband's trying to lift me up, and I'm just like, it's not going to happen, please don't try. He's got a hernia as well, so that doesn't help. We got my neighbour to come and help, and between the two of them, they managed to get me up and into the wheelchair. My husband and I have come to a decision that the house that we live in is not suitable anymore, and we need to get somewhere else that has like a driveway outside the door, so I can put a ramp in so we can wheel a wheelchair in and that kind of stuff, and doesn't have a slope and stairs and all the rest of it. We are trying to eliminate stress from our lives, so we've sold the business, so that's one thing less to worry about. And yeah, just going forward, we're just looking at how to keep things as stress-free as possible. So at 6 months, I can now eat fruit and vegetables, which I wasn't able to do previously. So I had my salads, which I was so happy about because going to Mexico, they gave me such good food while I was out there. I actually put on 10 kilos, and I'm like, what? So I'm actually having to work really, really hard to try and get rid of that, and obviously it's quite hard by the very limited movement that I get. So we'll see how that goes. In my last video, I said that I'd stopped a medication that wasn't on the NHS. It costs an arm and a leg, and I hate that I have to take 2 tablets a day. So I reduced it down to 1, but I've had to make that decision to increase it back to 2, because without it, I start getting really dizzy in the afternoon. I feel weak, lethargic, tired. I actually just feel like I'm drunk. So yeah, I've had to go back on it just so I can start feeling myself again. And it's helping and making me feel better. So that's a bonus, I guess. So while I was in hospital, they did also a bladder check because I was quite constipated. They've given me some stuff to help clear out my stomach, and then they did another bladder test. And the first one that they did was really quite high. And because I was retaining quite a lot, they were like, oh, well, you might need to have a catheter permanently. And I was like, I'm not having a catheter. Definitely not. But it was good because the next few tests that they did, they were below the mark, so I didn't need to. Very, very, very relieved about that. But I do have to have it rechecked again in a few months' time. So my hair's obviously grown back, and it's grown back really, really thick, which I love. Because it's been 6 months, I can now dye my hair. So my husband got the dye out and did that for me as well. So I'm very fortunate. I've had a haircut because it was looking so straggly. I had like bushy sideburns, and all this was quite bushy at the back, so I had a quick haircut. I'm trying to grow this bit out, and then I'll grow the sides out after. But I'm quite liking this short haircut. It's kind of wash and go. I love it. But I do miss my long hair. So yeah, there's not much else to tell you other than I'm feeling good and I'm happy about being at home, spending time with the family, not having to rely on my parents so much to help me with bits and bobs. I just seem to be managing most things at home, so it's just nice to have that independence back. I'm not driving at the moment. I've lost a little bit of confidence. I think I've driven twice since I came back from Mexico because I've got an adapted car, so it's just getting back into the swing of things. But I will be there. I think once I know I can get in and out of my place confidently without needing help and without getting tired by the time I get to the car, I should be on the road again, which will be lovely. I do get asked the question quite often, do I regret having stem cell treatment and has it worked? I couldn't tell you if it's worked yet because the process of recovery is between 6 months, well, I'd say a year to 2 years recovery. So I think it's still early days. We're only halfway through a recovery period at the moment, and everyone is feeling the stiffness at the moment that were on my same treatment. So yeah, I will keep you updated. I don't regret it. If anything, I feel slightly better than I was before I went into hospital, apart from the stiffness. But I think I was getting stiff before I went in anyway. So everything that's happened so far, going into hospital and carers and physio and everything, it's all just helped to increase and make my life a bit better, I guess. So yeah, I'm in a happy place at the moment. I am less tearful, knowing that I have the help and support that I need, and I'm looking forward to the next 6 months, and hopefully I'll start seeing some improvements here and there, and I can tell you all about it. But if there's any questions that you have or that you want to ask, then please do so. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And I will speak to everyone soon. Bye for now.